5 watercolor techniques we'll be learning about today. Using a black marker, wet on dry, wet on wet, wax resist, and dry brush. The last square will be for you to experiment with. But first, let's make sure we have everything we need. You should have a water cup, your paintbrush, a Sharpie, 1 oil pastel, and of course, your watercolors. And before you do anything, you need to make sure your name is on your paper. Okay, I think we're ready to start. So first, black marker. That's just using a black marker, which would be our Sharpie. So I won't need my brush just yet. So let's see, what am I gonna draw? I think I'm gonna draw a sailboat. Okay, now I have my drawing. Now I'm going to begin painting. So since it's called watercolor, obviously you need to get some water and then let's decide what color I'm gonna use first. So I think I'm gonna do my water first. Now we're gonna move on to wet on dry, which is basically you just paint watercolors. You don't need a black marker. You just need your brush and your paint. So I'm gonna do the exact same picture to keep it super simple. Okay, now we're gonna do wet on wet. That's when I need to make sure my brush is nice and clean. I'm gonna do it on the napkin. Okay, no colors coming off, so we're good. So I'm gonna get my brush wet again, and I'm going to wet the entire square. Okay, you should see a glisten on it. And then let's see what happens to the paint. Okay, that is wet on wet. Did you notice what happened with the colors? Okay, next up is wax resist. So before we use any watercolors, we're gonna draw our picture with a oil pastel. Okay, got my picture now. Let's paint. Okay, there you go. That is wax resist. Okay, last but not least is dry brush. I will say this one is a little tricky, but you want to dry out your brush almost completely. Get it and dab it on the paper towel. We're not doing that. We're gonna dab it. Okay, and then I will choose a color that's kind of wet, but not too wet. Okay, or else it's not quite dry brush. So I did blue. Blue looks a little too wet for my liking. So again, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna dab it. And then here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, there you have it. That is dry brush. Okay, and the last square is experiment. So you can try any of these techniques in combination, or you can just have fun, just play around with the watercolors. I do want to remind you some of those techniques we tried last class, like stippling or scumbling, you can in fact do with watercolor. Okay, there you have it. Here's all 5 of those watercolor techniques. Now it's your turn.